Welcome to Leading Her Way, where we uncover the inspiring stories of women who are making a meaningful impact. Each episode dives into the personal journeys and the driving forces behind each woman's success, from the why behind her choices to the defining moments that propelled her forward. Get ready to be empowered and inspired as we celebrate the resilience and innovation of women who are paving their own paths and redefining leadership. I'm Andrea Inverso, a passionate coach and connector of women worldwide. You're listening to Leading Her Way, where we highlight the extraordinary women who are leading with passion and purpose. Our guest today is Sarah Tracy. Sarah, welcome and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you so much for having me, Andrea. I am a parent coach and parent educator. So I help parents essentially raise their children with more intention and joy. It's a challenging process. And so if I can help be a guide on that journey, that's a true honor for me. And then I'm also a toxin-free beauty and skincare advocate. So.
Ooh, I love that. So, as you know, everyone on this show gets the same 3 questions. So, my first question for you is, what inspired you to start your business, and what is the driving force behind the work that you do?
I'm going to start at the end.
Okay.
The driving force in all that I do is wanting to help people live healthier lives. I'm actually originally a pharmacist by training, and then things have evolved over time since then. I really found a passion for parenting when I became a parent 19 years ago, a little over 19 years ago now. I have a 19-year-old daughter and an almost 18-year-old son. And I went to some parent education classes here locally and realized how powerful it was to have support in parenting. I think that we either parent the way that we were raised or decide that some or all of that is not what we want to do and swing essentially in the opposite direction, that pendulum swing. And if we do that kind of reactively, reflexively, that opposite impact may or may not be any more functional. And so, to truly be intentional with our parenting takes thought, insight. As with anything, it can be helpful to have a coach to help kind of guide that journey, help, provide tools, that sort of thing. So sitting in these parent education classes, I realized how helpful it was to have not only that guidance, but also the community and connecting with other parents, and just felt this spark, this drive to help carry that forward and help additional parents on their parenting journey.
I love that, because for me, it's always the story behind the business. And I always feel like the most successful ventures are the ones that you had some sort of spark that said, this is what you're supposed to be doing. So I love that part of it. So tell me, what specific problem or challenge that you were looking to solve when you started your business? And then how does your business address this issue?
I think really just the challenge of parenting, and also of feeling alone in parenting. So helping to connect other parents so that you have that sense of community, whether it's something locally or, now with all of the technology that we have that opportunity to connect with people even around the country. The key being that we recognize that we're not alone, right? That oppositional behavior at 3, it's not just that your child is a terror or that you're failing somehow as a parent, that other parents with children the same age are going through similar things. And there's a lot of, I think, comfort and solace in knowing that you don't necessarily get if you're just reading books on your own, versus getting to talk with others. Obviously, with the local connection, then from that being able to, form play groups, or, I'm still in contact with families that I was in parenting classes with when our kids were infants and toddlers, and now they're high school seniors and getting ready to graduate. But it's provided that common language. We've all been discussing the same topics around discipline and communication. And so there's a common language and some shared values that helps us to, work together in raising our children.
I like that too, because there's so many, I notice it in my work, I'm sure you do too. Most people think they're the only ones. When you have one of those am I enough feelings, and you look at social media, for example, and you think everyone else has it together and I'm the only one, or my child is the only one, and that's not really true,
Mhm.
no matter what. But I think that's so important. Coaching doesn't mean fixing, it means supporting. And wow, um, we could go into that in a whole other direction. But
Absolutely. And that's a big reason that I have chosen never to portray myself as a parenting expert. I really believe that each parent is the expert for their own family. You know what's best for your child. And my role is to help guide that, to help uncover that, and to help support that, whether that's providing different resources or sometimes just reassurance and validation, um, as well as, all the tools that can be helpful in dealing with the multitude of challenges that come with parenting.
ooh, yeah, there are a lot of challenges. Mine are grown now, but wow. Okay, last question. Can you share a defining moment or experience that solidified your decision to pursue entrepreneurship, coaching, and toxin-free beauty, and shape the direction of your business? So, a specific experience, or one of those, I call them aha moments, that said, this is the way I need to go.
That's a great question, and it's actually something that I think I've struggled with a bit throughout my journey. Being a pharmacist and having gone through a lot of schooling to get that degree, uh, it it was a bit of a challenge. And I think honestly, I questioned myself, and can I be successful in this? So one defining moment that comes to mind as far as the parent coaching specifically is when I had a a new client come to me and say that they had been referred by another client of mine, to have that word of mouth referral. Just I I think that was one of the defining moments when I really felt like I'm making a difference, and I'm making enough of a difference that people are talking about it and sharing that with other people. But honestly, each time I work with a parent and have them come back and say, "Hey, I tried this and it was really helpful," um, feels so incredibly rewarding and empowering, and makes me so excited to see that joy, that relief, for the parent, um, is incredibly rewarding. Um, as far as the toxin-free beauty, I was attending an online party with my daughter, who was at the time just starting to wear makeup, and we were sitting watching it together. And after it finished, she turned to me and she said, "Mom, you should do this. You would be great at this." And I thought, the last thing I need is another thing on my plate. At the same time, they were products that I loved. I loved the mission of educating and empowering people to live healthier lives. And I thought, why not? The worst that can happen is I'll get a discount on the products that I like and want to use anyway. And then seeing each time I'm able to help someone detox their makeup or their skincare, and know that every change that we make, is helping us to live a healthier life, just um, really, I think, showed me that this is another path that I want to pursue as well.
I love that. And I'm glad you told the story, because I was going to ask next, tell us about the toxin-free beauty advocate piece. Because to me, that's really important that you found something that way for your daughter. I think about it now for my granddaughter. And just if you're listening, Sarah was also, she has her own company that she recommends, but she also recommended some play toxin-free products for my granddaughter for Christmas, because she's 2 and she wants to play in that stuff, and I don't want her to play in toxins. So it's not just one company or one brand that women represent when they're talking about products like this. It's the concept. So I just want my audience to remember that piece. Okay, one last question. This is the fun question. Everybody gets a bonus question, and nobody knows what the question, they get ideas of what the question is going to be, but nobody knows. So this is just the fun. And the one that I chose for Sarah: what is your favorite way to unwind and relax after a busy day of running your business?
My
Two businesses.
right, 2 businesses. Not to mention, the busyness of parenting and partnering and all the roles that we all fulfill, right? My favorite way to unwind. Well, I mean, I guess really my favorite way to unwind would be the way that we often unwind, having dinner together as a family. I really, really value and prioritize family mealtime as much as possible, which, with busy teenagers becomes more and more of a challenge. But, having dinner together, relaxing, and watching TV shows together, whether it's watching soccer highlights with my son. My husband and I really enjoy watching food shows. I've watched, just a fun side note, but I've watched this show called Somebody Feed Phil. And one of the episodes was on Iceland, and we just traveled to Iceland, and we actually got to go to 3 of the places that he recommended in the show. So having that connection, I mean, I think that's part of why I enjoy it, is that it connects to the larger world. But watching food shows, clearly there's a food theme here.
Right?
Dinner together, watching food shows, walk, my husband and I walk the dog every night together, pretty much without fail. If one of us isn't feeling well, the other one will take the dog out. But that's kind of a really nice opportunity for us to have, 10 to 15 minutes of quiet time together to connect and process the day, talk about, anything that needs to be addressed without kids' ears listening from up the stairs or whatever.
Nice.
And
I
then I
love that.
like to read, and I always do a meditation, 5 or 10-minute meditation before I go to sleep. So
Nice. And that gets everything nice and calm and ready for the brain cleaning that I call it when we sleep, and ready for the next day, because we all know that entrepreneurship can be lonely and frustrating, but it's also very rewarding. And that's the whole purpose of this show. So I want to thank you, Sarah, for introducing your beautiful self to the rest of my audience. I already know you personally, have actually even got to meet you, and I adore you. And I wanted everyone else to know about you too. So if you are looking for some support in parenting, or if you want to change your beauty and skincare routine to something that's toxin free, how would my audience get to connect with you?
that is a great question. I am on Facebook as Sarah Tracy. I also have a business page, Family Vitality, Parent Coach Sarah. Instagram is at Parent Coach Sarah, or they can email Sarah at parentcoachsarah.com.
Nice. All right. I will put those also in the comments below this. But I just want to say thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to see what happens next with your business. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you, Andrea, and thank you so much for having me. What a fun conversation.
Yes. All right. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time on Leading Her Way TV. Bye.